What I'm going to give you right now is a checklist of 15 different things that you'll need to do with your TikTok organic videos to actually convert them into sales. So if you're thinking about running a dropshipping store, then definitely take a pen and paper and start taking these notes down with me, because I'm going to break things down as simple as possible and as easy as I can so that you guys can understand everything that you'll need to truly be able to get started, and then the things that you'll have to keep in mind when it comes to creating your content. Now, obviously the first step is very important, and that's to find a product with a proof of concept, meaning that there's another TikTok account running the same product with at least 1,000 followers on their page. This makes it easier for you to understand if they're making sales or not. Obviously, when it comes to checking out the followers, all you have to do is go into their TikTok page and just check on their accounts how many followers they would have, and see if people are also interacting with their posts. And if there has been any viral videos that they've posted recently as well, is also a really good thing for you to check out. Now, on the sales side of things, there's something specific that I always use that always ends up helping me out with all of my stores. But before we get into the sales aspect of things, I want to also explain that you need to make sure that the store that you're looking at is a branded store. You want to be able to check to see that they've posted multiple videos of the same product trying to run up a one product store. Or if it's just one specific viral video and it's not a page that does that one product, you want to see what the responses are like in the comments for that specific product to identify if there is some sort of trend there. Now, with that out of the way, let's go on to the sales. To identify if they're making sales, you're going to want to use a tool called Shop Hunter. Shop Hunter makes it super easy for you to find out exactly how many sales that a store is making, as well as the velocity of those sales. We're going to go into that shortly. So for example, we're looking at this brand here called My Carry All, which is honestly just an original foldable duffel bag that seems to have had a lot of viral videos, one with 27 million, 7 million, and then 1.3. And I can see here that they're still posting. This was 2 hours ago, right? So clearly they're seeing that it works. They're trying to make more money off of it. Now, how do I know how many sales they're making? I'm gonna click on the link over here to see if it's a good product to run. Copy the link that's here for their product page. Go into my Shop Hunter, add the shop, paste the link right in here, and I get to see how many sales they're making. And currently for the last 30 days, they've made $40,000 in sales specifically. And we can see that this is zero ad count here, so they're not running ads. This is all organic. So if you're telling me that organic dropshipping still doesn't work, after seeing this, there's a problem. And it's not a business model problem, it's a you problem. Not only can we see exactly how much they've made for the last month, we can break it down by week and by day as well. So today they've made $1,000, and that's actually 25% less than what they usually would make. They would make about $1,400, $1,500 every day. But the velocity here that we can see as well is just seeing like, okay, what's the traction like with the product? I'm seeing that every day they're getting consistent sales over $1,000, right? Sometimes it's low numbers, and I'm assuming those are numbers where they didn't really post. And other times it goes up a bit higher because the content tends to go a bit more viral. You guys can let me know in the comments if $1,000 a day doesn't interest you at all, because like an extra $1,000 a day can change a lot of people's lives. And honestly, I feel like if you are just starting your very first organic dropshipping store, or even your 10th organic dropshipping store, you need tools like this to be able to help you out so that you know that you have a higher chance of picking a winner and making money off of that product than to go in blindly. And so if that's something that you want to do, then definitely check out the link in my description where you can go ahead and sign up and get yourselves access to this same tool as well. Now that you've found a winning product, you need to ask yourself 3 questions before deciding to move on to the next step. 1, is it easy to go viral with this? Essentially, does it have a strong viral factor or the ability to capture people's attention? 2, can you film with this? For example, if you don't have a baby, then maybe it's not the best idea to run baby products. If you don't have a pet, maybe it's not the best idea to be in the pet niche. You can still do it, it'll just be a bit harder. And lastly, is this a product that people would actually buy and find useful? Is it something that is genuinely sellable to the market? Yeah, it's important for a product to have some sort of viral factor, but it can't just go viral. At the end of the day, you need to understand that people are going to want to buy your product. Give them a reason to buy your product. For example, we're gonna take a look at this brand here called Neuralink that posted this video which went absolutely crazy. I'm on my laptop, so I can't see the views, but 304,000 likes. You can only imagine how many views it got. And not only was it a viral video, but the reason why it's actually useful why people would buy this is because he ended up targeting it to people who get panic attacks. They would need this. What is it? It's a neural controller, right? So he actually decided to use this product and market it in a way where he's targeting people that have specific issues that would find use with their product, rather than not having any use for the product and just having something cool. And now that you have the product which fits all the criteria we just mentioned, you are now able to move over to step number 2, which is to look for a supplier who theoretically can ship out your product to the customer. And obviously this is common sense, but if you cannot ship the product, then you shouldn't even consider selling the product. And keep in mind here that as you are testing a product, you don't want to go all in and have the perfect store, the best supplier, and all that stuff. All these things come later, but you want to be able to make sure that you actually have a supplier who, once sales start to come in, you are proactive enough to know this supplier is able to actually fulfill my orders and I should have no problem with it. So obviously find a decent supplier, make sure that the quality of the product is good, and keep this information of your supplier with your product research notes as well, just so that you are ahead of the game and ahead of the curve when it comes to actually putting your content out and building out your store. And from there, find the same product on Amazon so that you can get the product right away or within a few days. And obviously that's with you having Amazon Prime, but genuinely, if you don't have Amazon Prime, like what are you really doing at this point? Once a product comes in, you can go ahead and get started with creating content right away. There's also a few things that you're gonna wanna get from Amazon, like studio equipment for your content. Now, when I say studio equipment, it can sound expensive, but trust me, it really isn't. I'll show you exactly the things that you could buy to be able to have better looking content. I'm also going to go ahead and take my phone to show you exactly what things that you would need, because I'm using some of the equipment right here to create this video for you guys. So obviously here you are right now, you are going to need your phone and a tripod. A tripod will come in very handy, and some sort of studio light. You don't have to go with something crazy like this if you don't want to. What you can also do is get a ring light, which I actually have packaged up, but it is right here in this bag. I just don't get used to it right now. You can also get a chest mount or a head mount from Amazon as well for like 30 bucks in case you need both hands for your content for something like the dish gun, for example. And make sure you have a smartphone with a high quality camera. You don't need an actual camera. You can just use an iPhone. I highly suggest an iPhone. And once you have all that, you gotta make sure to prepare everything before you start filming. Your batteries have to be charged, the background has to be clean. Make sure that everything is set up so that it makes it so much easier for you to start recording. Now, step 4 is studying your competition. You're going to ask yourself a few very important but specific questions. Why did the viral video actually go viral? Why did the other videos that your competitor posts not do well in comparison to the video that did do good? And lastly, what was the specific thing behind it? Now, most times you can check in the comments and see what other people are talking about to see and get some sort of indicator on why the video went viral. So for example, we have this video right here that went absolutely viral, right? And here is where we can start to answer our questions. So 1, why did the viral video actually go viral? You don't believe me that it went viral? We have 338,000 likes, and this was posted less than a year ago. So not only was the first part of the hook really good with OMG, I want one, but we're really showcasing how the girl's been stressed, and this is her de-stressing herself, right? And how this has helped a lot for her to be able to de-stress herself. It flows very well with the music too. It's not that fast, and there's always something going on every few seconds to keep my attention going there. It's not that like at the next clip right away, the text shows up. It's a bit of time before it too, so that we give some time for things to change and for ourselves to get used to those changes rather than having many things change at once, having the clip and the text all at the same time, but really letting things flow properly. And then with that, you start to see little things from videos that have gone viral and videos that haven't gone viral. And you start to see what was the thing behind it. Was it the pacing of their video? Was it the sound and how it related to the video? Was it the text? Was it the clips? And you just start to keep these things in mind as you start building your plan before your product arrives and you create content with it. Now, step number 5 of this list is to check for video ideas within your niche specifically. Now that you've seen that there's videos of your product that are going viral, you want to go and understand why videos in your niche specifically are also going viral. What are the key factors behind those ones that you can leverage with your own content? Let's go back to the computer and I'll show you some examples of what I mean. You'll notice that this is one product, and the same product here, we have the same thing going on, is just with a bug pillow instead of a giant shark. And this video here has 3.1 million likes and has gone insanely viral. And they're even hitting the same sorts of angles too, right? So we can see, got my girlfriend this bug pillow and she won't take it off. That's something that we've seen used here for, got my girlfriend this shark blanket and she won't take it off, or like, look what's going on, you know, things like that. And you have all of these pieces of copy that you could use and just reword a little bit for your own specific product. And from there, that's obviously just one video, but you can go and take a look at their page too and see what other ones are also going well that you can also emulate with that as well. Now with this, I hope you see the similarities, and if you didn't, just watch over that part a few times so you can understand that the feeling of the videos are very similar and the same exact thing happens in the video. It's just with another product. Now step 6 is fairly important, which I feel like not a lot of you actually take into account, but deciding who you want to target. It's the most logical thing to do, but for some reason a lot of you guys get that wrong. Let me show you what I mean by that. So here's one video of the shark blanket we were going over, of just someone literally walking around, jumping in it and doing God knows what in a shark blanket costume, right? No text. We don't even know if the sound is good. It seems to be an original sound. There's no tags on the video. We don't know who this is for. You're creating this piece of content, but who is it for? You have to be mindful of the viewers that you are trying to reach out to. In comparison to a good example, let me show you a good example now. So here's a good example where we have them literally mention that they bought the blanket for their significant other and that she likes the gift and that she won't let him take it off, right? So now we're being specific. And if you saw it at the beginning too, they even showed a girl there specifically to showcase that I got it specifically for my girl, right? It could be for girl, for sister, whatever, but they just said for her. It was specifically for the significant other. We are getting that shown to us and told to us with the copy. The first video did not do that. And the difference in that is literally having 64 likes to having 2.75 million likes. That's a difference. And it's very minor stuff, because at the end of the day, you're still going to post a video, right? Just make sure you're posting the right videos. This is extremely important for you to consider so you know exactly who you are creating your content for, and you can think about specific pain points to market towards them so that you can put your content out to hit that specific audience. All in all, it just makes it easier for you to create content when you know exactly who to create content for. Now that we understand our target audience, the next step is actually planning our videos. There's a few things that you want to keep in mind when building out your plan. You want to make sure it has 5 marketing angles minimum. So go back to when you were studying your competition and finding video ideas. You'll notice similarities between what videos they were putting out and who specifically they were targeting as well. So as long as you follow the previous steps, you'll be able to find creative angles that you can use when it comes to your content. You might even be able to think of some that weren't used, but you can actually tap into. You'll also need a minimum of 30 video ideas. Don't reinvent the wheel, do what's already working. Because if you are just starting out, I'm sorry to break this to you, but there are people that are more advanced than you out there who are going to completely blow you out the water. They have more experience, they are better, they are just more advanced, and that's okay for now. Just copy the video, because the best thing that can happen for you is that your video actually goes viral. And think about it this way, if it's worked for them, there's a high chance it'll also work for you. You can also take the concept of a video and improve upon it too. Let me show an example of that. So here's another product that went viral, which is a perfect toy for your kid, 203,000 likes, and it's really just a cooking toy simulator, right? The video itself is good, the clips are good, the cuts are fine, but the points we want to improve on when it comes to this video is probably trying to see if we can make the video a bit shorter. It's 16 seconds long, can we bring that down to 12? You know, a faster video means it's gonna be easier for people to go through the video to its fullest and for your retention to also be there, right? Are we able to make the clips a bit smoother? Are we able to make the clips a bit faster as well? Or at least give the illusion of the clips going faster by adding cuts? Now, most of you will quit here, but if you haven't, then good news, you are already ahead of like 90% of your competition. Here's how you'll get ahead of the extra 9% and be able to get yourselves out there further. After you have your 30 video ideas list, what you are going to want to do is write down a list of the clips that were used in each video, as well as a list of hooks to test. So when it comes to the list of clips, the reason why you do that is because you'll find similarities in all these different videos of different clips that you can use. You'll probably also think about it on the fly when it's like, oh, maybe I can do this clip specifically based off of you thinking about, oh, you'll need a clip of fries on the desk, and then you'll think, oh, maybe I can take a different clip as well and have like fries on the table or fries on the counter. Having a list of clips to record is what keeps you organized, and so that you know exactly which clips that you need when it comes to making your content. Because when it comes to making your content, you don't sit there for an hour just recording a whole bunch of stuff. You take a bunch of like 3 to 6 second clips. But if you have the list of every single clip that you already need, it makes this recording session much shorter. I'll even give you a bonus tip. Write down a list of all the props that they've used that you can also put into your videos to help your videos have more life to them. At the end of the day, it's important to take the content seriously and to do it with intention. And when it comes to the list of hooks to test, you are literally going to go to the first few seconds of the video and see all the different hooks that the viral videos list that you have has used. But I cannot stress this enough. The hook is the most important thing when it comes to your content. It's the very first thing that a viewer will see, and first impressions matter a lot. So give yourself a few hooks to test from the video ideas that you've written down, and go ahead and use those in variations so you can start to create a whole bunch more content out of your list of 30 as well. You should also be mindful enough to list about 10 to 20 questions that your customer could potentially have and create videos based off of that as well. For these types of videos, you can use them as a storyline for your video while you're actually answering whatever question that they would have. Let me show you an example. So right here in this video, we have, can we connect it to the TV? And here is how they decided to answer it. They're showcasing the product and they're not showing it on the TV until the last few seconds. And not only that, but they made sure to keep them, yes, the video is only 6 seconds long, but they made sure to answer them later in the video rather than beforehand. Right? So let's look at one more example of someone who does this right. This person says, cool, so what are you watching when it's not dark? Now, if you had written this question beforehand, you can probably have an idea as to how you'd want to formulate this type of video. That's 15 seconds, and if you even keep in mind, not only did they bring awareness to the question so that the customer feels heard with the video, but they even went ahead and decided to answer the question in a completely different way from just openly answering the question. Some may think that he didn't answer the question, but honestly, I feel like he did, because if it works in daylight, why wouldn't it work at night, right? So he still answered the question, and he used the video in a way to not really give you an answer until the end, which is a very good idea when it comes to viral content to create, when people are actually giving you replies and asking these questions so that you make the content about them. But what I really want you to understand here is that what you're going to do with these videos is that you are actually creating content that's used as objection handling. Because people want to buy your product, but they're going to share their concerns in the comments as to why they shouldn't buy the product yet, or whatever is stopping them from actually buying the product. It's up to you to be able to answer those questions and even know about those questions ahead of time so that you can go ahead and know exactly what to say and what to do when those questions arise. At the end of the day, you are building a business, so listen to your customers and answer their questions. Make sure to make them feel at ease, because they are the ones keeping you paid, so treat them well. These pieces of content really help because you can cover up these issues for anybody else who has these sorts of questions. Which brings us to step 8. Record your videos. Before you actually film, there's a few things that you want to keep in mind. 1, where do you actually film? So obviously you want to make the atmosphere nice. As we were saying before, get the background clean. And if you have any props, I don't know what it would be for you. Maybe it could be flowers, candles, whatever. Any props you could use to also help accentuate the video will definitely help here. Here's an example of a good environment for where to film when it comes to this product. So this product right here called the Munch Cup has over 250,000 likes, and they use their environment well. Not only the environment, but the props as well, because they had to go ahead and make sure that they're mentioning that it's a movie night. They're in the room. You can tell there's a blanket at the bottom here, and there's watching some sort of movie. I don't even know what movie that is. And they have their cups ready, and they have the props to show the cups in use. One person has popcorn and a whole bunch of other stuff. Seems like trail mix. And the other person has like chips and, I don't know, cheese balls or something like that. At the end of the day, what you want when it comes to your content is engagement. That is the most important thing. But you also want to be able to use your content to show people what the experience would look like using your product. So where you're going to film is very important because it sets the atmosphere. The next is, how will the transitions look? And this is important as you're filming your content and not editing, because you can't fix an error that you've made in your recording within the edits, but you can accentuate it. So if you are creating content and you don't keep in mind the types of transitions you want to make, then things are going to be very difficult for you on the editing side. Now, what I do want to say is that when you are editing, you will not need to use any crazy transitions really. You'll be just fine with regular cuts. This one too did not have any transitions. You can look back over it again if you need to. It did not have any transitions, it's just cuts, well-placed cuts. Next is which video concepts are you going to use? So obviously refer to the video ideas that you've listed down and figure out from there which videos that you're looking to recreate. So as we've mentioned, the most important thing about content is engagement. And the best way to engage your viewers is to spark some sort of emotion within your hook. One of the easiest ways to do that is to be controversial. You also want to think about what sounds you're going to use in your videos as well. It's important to pick one that makes everything make sense with the vibe that you're going with. So you want to make sure to find trending sounds that fit your video ideas and your product. Don't just pick sounds that you like because you like them. Make sure that there is some sort of pull and some sort of trend with the ambiance of the content and the video ideas that you already have that you're going to recreate. But obviously this really depends on what type of product that you actually have. If it's a girly product, then you're going to look for girly product sounds that are going viral. If it's a Christmas product, then same thing. For example, let's look at this one right here. So here's the video here, let's watch it together.
Add a little bit of spice.
Right? This one has almost 80,000 likes. You can even click on the original sound here to see how many views that this song has been getting, but clearly this seems to be an OG one, but you can also see how like this sound is very popular for people who do this type of video. Because with this type of video, you need to actually keep in mind that you're building up your product. So you're going to show a lot of the bad stuff first, and then you transition to the good one. You can also do that with music. You basically have the music change exactly when you want to make that transition to have the good one. And it's not hard to notice. There's a lot of sounds that you could use where the change happens right at the beat drop or right when there's a slight change in the music, and that's when you do your transition. You just have to have an ear for it. But my advice here is to test products that don't require too much preparation beforehand, because at the end of the day, you are building up the skill of TikTok organic. You are not building up the skill of how to make your product look pretty. Step 9 is to start warming up your account. Now the process here isn't too long, but it's still pretty important to do. The goal is to have TikTok understand that you aren't a bot, you are an actual consumer of the app. So here's exactly how you're going to do this. You're going to want to engage with videos in your niche. Like them, comment on them, save them. You could also follow these accounts so that these accounts show up on your feed and just keep giving you video ideas that you can also test for your content. This way, you just engineered a never-ending content idea generator. Next, you'll upload a few drafts and wait 24 hours before posting. This is about 1 hour of work, but if you do it right, you'll be able to produce much faster, with more efficiency, and have an easier time at getting your videos to pump views. Now, step 10 is optional, but it'll cut your learning curve by a lot, and that's to get your content reviewed by actual experts. And obviously, we have a team of experts. I'm not really trying to sell my stuff. To some extent, I do, but I just want you to understand that if you decide to get your videos reviewed by someone who's been able to generate millions of views, they'll be able to tell you exactly what to fix rather than you having to figure it out by yourself, not necessarily knowing what was the cause or what exactly that you have to fix when it comes to your content. I truly believe it's one of the best things you can do. If you have the money to invest, then why not invest it in trying to get some better content for your videos? At the end of the day, you're going to get that money back based on the value that you're going to receive regardless. Again, you can review these yourselves, but I want you to understand that repeating the same mistake over and over just isn't going to help. If you do something wrong and it doesn't go viral, you won't know what to fix, and then you'll be stuck. For example, your video can go viral, but doesn't actually convert. And yes, this actually happens to people. It'll be very difficult for you to pinpoint what the actual problem is and what to change. We can tell you because we have so much more experience with that.
Right, you know what they say. You don't pay the plumber for banging on the pipes.
You pay him for knowing where to bang.
Step 11 in our checklist is to make sure to post 3 videos per day on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. It's very important that with every single video, you repost it everywhere. This is something that brings in extra profits into your pockets. Let's break down the math real quick. If you are just posting to TikTok, then you're showing your product to a potential 1 billion users. But if you repost it on Instagram and on YouTube, you're showing your product to another potential 5 billion users. These are monthly users, by the way, guys. You can easily take one video and turn it into 3 videos in a matter of minutes, and you can increase your reach from 1 billion to an additional 5 billion, getting you to 6 billion users that have the chance and the potential of watching your video. It's a no-brainer to post on different platforms. And for those of you who think that it takes you extra time, it doesn't, because you already created the content. You just want to repost it without the TikTok watermark. And this is something that a lot of people also do wrong, so don't be one of them. Use these platforms and get yourself some extra cash. Step 12 is to look over your winning videos to see if there's some sort of pattern between them. Maybe this type of hook is doing better. Maybe the background is really good here. Whatever it is, try your best to keep mimicking that video. Let me show you a few examples so you can see what I mean. So here's the first video.
This is the worst product I've ever bought. This posture corrector forced me to sit up straight, fixed my back, neck, and shoulder pain, and I can hide it under my shirt. The worst thing is that it's only 60% off for one more day. Don't get yours today.
So that's one video, and here's a different video. Different date and different everything, but they noticed that this one hit for them before, so they went and did it a second time a few weeks later to see, okay, is that what was hitting? They noticed that this was hitting, let's try it again. So if you'll notice here, same clips.
This posture corrector forced me to sit up straight, fixed my back.
They even used the same hook too.
Neck and shoulder pain, and I can hide it under my shirt. The worst thing is that it's only 60% off for one more day. Don't get yours today.
They used similar clips. They used the same hook. They might have even used the entire same script, honestly. And they even used the same caption. Shop now, it's so bad that it's actually good. Shop now, it's so bad that it's actually good. They might have even used the same tags as well, right? So like it becomes easier when you know which ones are your winners and try to recreate more of those to test, okay, this one is leading me closer towards my actual winner. Let's keep putting out more of this one until you find the next level of wins and the next level and the next level. All you need to do at this point is find out which variables are working the best and use those to your advantage. And then we move on to step 13. Once a video goes viral, create a store. Now, a lot of other dropshippers in this space are probably going to be mad at me when I say this, because obviously you need to create the store to make money. But at the end of the day, if your product is not going viral, why waste time on making a store? Only do it once you actually have a viral product. So you're probably thinking, Menes, what is the number for a viral video? In my opinion, I think once you have one video that went viral and that has hit over 100K views, only then should you decide to create a store. And I can't stress this enough because the content is more important than the store itself. You can have the most amazing looking store, even better than Apple Store. But if you have no way of getting people onto your website to see the beautiful store you spent hours making under Patrick's Rock, no one is going to be buying your product regardless. You have to learn how to get people onto your store before creating this fantastic looking store. Otherwise, you're just wasting time and making no money. If you miss out on a few sales before getting to your 100K views, then so be it. At least you didn't waste a ton of your time by creating every single store for every single product that you test. You're not there yet. And because you're not doing that yet, it gives you more time to test more products and see which one you can go viral with. After you already went viral a bunch of times now, you are allowed to create your own viral video ideas. This is something that is so much more advanced, but if you master the craft of making really good content, you are now able to create content and try to set the trend yourself. I recommend to give yourself one viral video to test with your 3 daily posts so that you can keep pumping out your winners while you test your new ones. And last but not least, get yourself a mentor. I know this is going to sound super salesy, but get yourself a mentor. I still ask my mentors for advice to this day, and if I didn't have them, I probably wouldn't be here making videos for you guys explaining these things. And obviously this is going to cost you money, but the truth is that you're only going to make this money back with actual guidance. I mean, just think about how many videos you've watched around this topic and you still haven't made your first dollar online. You haven't even subscribed to my channel yet. When will you decide that it's enough videos and that you should actually decide to take action? You're also going to learn the skill of going viral, the skill of converting views into sales, the skill of picking amazing products, the skill of building really good websites. These skills will literally help you with any business venture that you decide to get into, and we're going to do it all together. Mentors are literally here to teach you and keep you accountable. The only thing you actually need is a couple of hours every single day. At least 1 to 3 hours consistently every single day needs to be put into the program and into yourself to be able to achieve insane results. And if you can't do that, then that's fine. This isn't for you. But if you actually can do that and you're dedicated in making this work, then click the link below. All you'll need to sign up is your email, and if we're a good fit, I'll see you on the inside.